lady. Boss lady. Boss lady.
Hi, welcome to the Vegasbossladies Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Moton, a.k.a. Lady C. And once again, you're watching the episode of Vegas Boss Lady channel. Now listen, I talked to you guys about self-awareness, episode 2. This is episode 3. Now, when we find out our weaknesses, when we write down our strengths, I hope you did the work, write down your weaknesses. The next thing you're going to have to do is try to do what? Heal. You have to heal your weaknesses in order for them to become your strengths. So that's what I'm talking about today. Healing. Healing is the ability to transform your grief, your sadness, your pain, anything that weakens you internally, to transform that into happiness. That is the whole process of healing. It's the ability to transform your anger, your grief, or whatever that's deep down inside that's prohibiting you to grow internally. You have to heal that. So this is what this podcast is talking about today. It's the ability to release your pain, release and transform your sadness, release your grief, your anger, anything that hurt you as a kid growing up, or maybe something traumatic in your life growing up. You have to still heal that. For instance, if you was in an abusive situation, emotionally, physically, whatever, even if you leave that situation, you're still going to have to heal. Because logically, physically, you're not there in that situation, right? You took yourself out of that situation. But you still have not healed it. It's still in you, deep down inside. All you did was just cover it up. That's all you did. You didn't actually take that time to release it, transform it into happiness. So that's what I'm trying to talk about today. Healing. Now, it's steps to heal yourself, people. This is not rocket science, okay? I did it. I'm doing it. You do, you can do it. Anybody can do it. You just got to know what you're doing. So as episode 2, as we talked about being self-aware, episode 3 is going to be talking about healing that weakness. So for instance, my weakness that what I just discovered is that being I can't think of the name right now. Because I know I heal so much I can't even think of the name. What is the word? Codependent. I couldn't think. So I discovered that I am codependent. And codependent basically means is when you putting other needs before your own. And that is a part of my healing process. Now with codependency, it doesn't mean you're weak. It's just a weakness, right? It's just something that I've dealt with and still dealing with that has been a part of my life. Which means when you're codependent, regardless of what it is, whether it's relationships or whatever, friends, family, whatever, you could be codependent in a lot of things. It's not necessarily just a relationship, but normally it boils down to a relationship because you're not aware of it. I wasn't aware of it. But what I did was I was being self-aware. I wrote down my weaknesses. I wrote down my strengths. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Why am I keep running into these same relationships that's not doing me any good? Well, I had to find out that I'm codependent. That's why. Because I have to work on something inner, right, to transform it into happiness. So I can recognize where I'm messing up at and I'm running into these situations where it's prying on my weakness. So basically codependency. So that's something I'm working on. So that's what I'm saying. Just an example of when you discover your weakness, then you can work on trying to heal it. So you need to identify your issues. That's the first thing. Once you identify it, so we're going to use my codependency as an example. Once I identify my codependency, then I have to figure out what exactly triggered me into having that. What in my childhood triggered me to be in that way? So you do have to, once again, it all draws back to being self-aware. You have to go back and look at things in your childhood, go back and look at things that happened throughout your life to figure out where did this issue all start from? The second thing is you got to practice self-honesty without judgment. So now I realize I'm codependent. I can't judge myself. I can't feel bad because that's not doing nothing but making it worse. So I have to practice self-honesty. I had to be honest with myself. A lot of people, see, ladies, we have to be honest with ourselves. Okay? This channel is to help empower you. And in order to empower you, we have to figure out what is wrong. We got to figure out the problem. You got to face the problem. You can't say, oh, okay, empower me, but I don't want to do the work. No, this is a channel where you got to do the work. So if you on this channel, you watching and you don't want to do no work, you might as well go and turn off because this ain't going to do you no good. This is for people who is having issues on inner healing and having issues with being confident within themselves. And these are tips to empower you. You know, all that old, gossip and stuff. This ain't what this channel is about. This ain't no gossip channel. This ain't no Vegas boss lady, a whole bunch of ladies on here catting. And no, I'm not doing it that way. This channel is to help empower women, and that's what I need. So I'm on here to help empower you and also empowering myself. I'm empowered, so I'm trying to empower you. Okay, so this is what this channel is about. Moving on. You access whether this issue is something you are ready to let go. So for instance, with my codependency, I'm ready to let it go. Obviously, I've been dealing with it for quite some time. But you have to check in with yourself to make sure whatever your problem is that you identified, you are ready to let it go. That is the number one problem that women, especially women of color, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to keep it real on this channel. And that's just not all women of color, I'm just saying. That is a problem because I'm a woman of color. That's why I always say women of color. It don't have nothing to do with color, okay? We all women, black, green, whatever. But what I'm saying is a lot of times we have an issue with facing our problems, accessing whether we want to let it go or do we hold on to it. And a lot of black women, because we have to be strong, we have a lot of things going on in our life and we're taught to be strong, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But being strong is a part of healing. Being strong is a part of releasing all that pain and anger and grief and sadness and accessing that. And once you access it, you have to let it go. It's easier said than done. This is not just a quick process. This is an everyday process. This is something that you got to work on every day. And I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do to work on that. But let's keep moving. You set your intentions to heal. Set your intentions to heal. And what I mean by that is, when you figure out the problem, okay, we can use codependency. I'm codependent. I need to set my intentions to try to heal this problem. First, I access what is going on. Am I ready to let it go? Well, first, I identify the problem. I access whether or not I wanted to let it go. And I have to be honest with myself on what my problem is. Okay, wait. First, I need to be identifying the issue. I need to be honest with myself of the issue. Then I need to access it and see if I'm ready to let it go. Now, once I'm ready to let it go, I need to figure out what tools do I need to heal it. Okay? So, codependency. I'm ready to let that go. I already accessed that. In your mind and your heart, you have to access that. If you're not ready to let things go, you're just going to hold on to it. And what happens is you push it down, right? If we're mad, then we don't let it go. We push it down. If we're sad, we don't let it go. We push it down. If we're angry, we push it down. And before you know it, that's why people get triggered. And you wonder why people just blow up at you. They're blowing up because they got stuff down there that they're not letting go. And eventually, it's like a pressure cooker. You put too much stuff down there, eventually you're going to blow. It's just going to be the right when people, you got time today. When people say that, yeah, it's just that right time today. Somebody going to do something and you're going to blow up. So you have to access it. You have to be ready and willing to let your issues go. And use the tools to let it go. Okay? Now, the tools on healing. It's a lot of tools on healing. my particular tools that I use, that I like, that I think, especially with mothers, people that have busy lives. When people say meditate, I meditate, but it's not 4 hours, 30, 45 minutes. You could do a 5-minute meditation, all on YouTube. They have so many videos on YouTube. Just 5 minutes. Lay down, disconnect from the world, get the phones, the TV, turn all that off, tell the kids, get out of here. 5 minutes, lay there, meditate, release. That's part of your healing. Another technique is affirmations. For me, because I'm codependent, it got to do a lot with self-love, self-healing. So I always say my affirmations in the morning, say positive mindset. Remember, that's self-aware. Keep a positive mindset. The more you saying your affirmations, number one, you're telling the universe, I am wealthy, I am successful, I am loved. And when you're telling the universe that, guess what? It's going to bring that back to you. Because again, it's all about energy. What you bring out comes back. So, say your affirmations. Do your yoga. Do some, yoga. You don't necessarily have to be the yoga that you're standing on one foot and all that. Some simple breathing techniques, people. Just simple breathing techniques. Something simple. A lot of times we see all these spiritual teachers and all this, and they have all this grandiose. Yeah, that's great. But in reality, 5 minutes, I'm telling you, it's a lot you can do in 5 minutes. You can meditate. You can say your affirmations. Take a good salt bath. I love bubble baths as well. Get you some salt bath, some Epsom salt, oils, different things like that. Everything is all a part of healing. You have to have the tools. And basically, it's just gratitude. Give yourself thanks. List the things that's wrong. When you list them, identify them. When you identify them, you have to be honest, and then you have to use the tools to do it. Now, healing is not going to be overnight. You're not going to heal overnight. But I promise you, I've been doing this. Heal. Take 5 minutes. Take 10 minutes out your day and focus on yourself. It's so important. It increases healing. It increases your inner confidence. It makes, once again, boss lady. Okay? This is the steps of boss lady. So, take these steps, guys. Healing. Once again, identify the issue. And go from there. Okay? Again, 5-minute daily routines. Breathe. Center yourself. Meditate. These are things that you can do. That's all a part of healing. We have to heal ourselves, ladies. If we don't heal ourselves, who gonna do it? You just gonna be a bitter old hag just sitting over there just bopping off on people. You don't want to do that. Heal yourself. Okay, you're a boss lady. And boss lady don't mean money. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't know what you're doing, if your inside's tore up, that don't mean nothing to me. You just a woman with some money. Come on, you gotta heal yourself, guys. So practice those steps. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna list them down below because I know I talk fast and you probably don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know. But anyway, they're gonna be listed down below, and y'all check it out. And once again, like, subscribe, click on all my links. And I appreciate you guys for watching. This is just episode 3. It gets better from here. And y'all have a good day.
Lady. Lady. Lady.